Society is soul crushing. I know that's a very morbid way to start, but it is something that I genuinely believe. I wish that it wasn't this way, and I wish there was a way to
Sometimes
enjoy
Otis likes to assume
and
he knows nothing. Nobody can learn what they think they already know.
feel that I actually have independence and can enjoy life. Things can captivate and excite me. And yet, for as much effort as I've put in to try and enjoy things, it feels so utterly impossible. Nowadays, from the moment that as an entity we have the capacity to make independent decisions, we are given pressure and expectations and parameters that we are expected to fit within. There are bars that are set for us that someone else believes we should reach in order to be successful, and have a happy life, whatever that means to each person. And yet, I believe differently. I believe that many of us, and likely many of you who are listening to this, just want to live a life that's simple. Be comfortable, be confident, not have to have a day-to-day worry and fret all the time of the next meal or of external perspective. Go down the list. Society and a component of that, social media, has cultivated us as entities, as human beings, to be exceptionally overstimulated, overwhelmed, and undersupported in almost every aspect of our lives. If we're lucky, we have a family that supports us through the easy and the rough times. The moments when you truly need someone else there to maybe just talk to, or just someone to sit there and be present with, share a drink, a story or two. Yet there are many of us that don't have that luxury, that don't have the benefit of having someone else who is selfless like that in their life. And that's really unfortunate. It's really sad. It is made worse, and everything becomes an exponential scalar when you start stacking on the components of life that are unavoidable right now, the components of society that are unavoidable. Taxes, bills, feeding yourself, insurance, internet, electricity, everything that you have to do just to sustain and live these days. there's no guidebook for any of it. And everything that you can search for and look for online is very frequently, if not almost certainly, dumbed down to such a basic level that it is literally designed for a simpleton, for a lemming, for someone that has no idea of what's going on here, and they're just being given the bare minimum information so that they can accomplish a task, point A to point B. However, the details, understanding, and the impact is not clear. The fine print is long and extensive and doesn't make sense most of the time. For example, why does a request have to be submit for me to cancel my service to something? This isn't me requesting to stop having to pay someone for something. This is me saying, I am no longer utilizing this, close my account. That's not a request, that's someone saying what is going to happen. And yet there's a whole thing around it where you have to hop through a hoop, spend an hour and a half on the phone, not get connected to where you want to get. This whole thing. And that is just every single aspect of our lives. Sitting on the phone to cancel service with a massive company, you're there for 3.5 hours on hold. You know? If you say you want to cancel, they say, okay, please hold, and then you're sitting there for longer. And it is a non-stop barrage from every single source. We are not encouraged to succeed. We are not reinforced or supported in what we want to do, in large part. We are told, here is your job, complete it. Don't ask questions, just do. And especially when you're trying to do everything alone, it feels hopeless. Everything is expensive. When you go to the mall, everything is a bright lit up sign. Everything has to be these insane colors. And I'm not saying that color is bad, I'm just saying that it's obscene. We're advertising luxury brands to babies, to literal infants and children. That's ridiculous. Even going to a farmer's market or taking a vacation and going to see sights on beachside, or go scuba diving, or look at the view from the top of a mountain or something. Would you do any of those things alone? Completely alone? Just you? It's hollow. Things feel pointless unless you share the experience with someone else. And right now, all 8 billion of us existing on this rock that we call Earth, everyone is so focused on themselves, it seems like. We're not trying to help each other. We're not trying to lift each other and ourselves up. All of this is pointless. There's no reason to do anything in this life. Because someone else currently has the authority to dictate whether or not you should be able to, and then under what parameters you can. On the other hand, and on a lighter note, there are some people that are trying to do good in the world, that are trying to do better on a larger scale. But being able to do that at the expense of others, or attaining a position at someone else's loss, is never acceptable. It is inherently immoral and dehumanizing. You're saying that someone else is worth more than another individual for factors that very frequently seem completely arbitrary. Everyone should have opportunity and be able to thrive in a healthy system. Every time that we purchase something online or buy anything at all, almost, we are purchasing something that was at someone else's expense. Someone else is purely a farmer, a miner, a worker. And we never see those people. We just see the product and judge it as is. And then we keep raising our expectations more and more and more, and keep putting more and more pressure on these invisible people that we have never and will never see. Directly or indirectly, we are killing each other, and in a certain way ourselves, in exchange for temporary feelings of better, happy, less panicked. But it's all temporary. And at the end of the day, anyone who persists in that way we're all just so alone and silently screaming for help. And no one's listening because no one cares. I'll conclude with this. Society and culture is a very complex, difficult, and painful place to be. So let's make it better for all of us. Let's start caring and let's start listening. Not just to others, but also to ourselves. Just because something is crushing doesn't mean that we can't resist. And my final thought I've always been very fond of a quote from A Bug's Life, ever since I was little. Those puny ants outnumber us 100 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life. Why not 100,000 ants to 1? Thank you for your time.